The kids who are mad at me get together and they're all colluding to, not all, but they're colluding
Okay.
against me.
Okay.
It's a betrayal. Had
Cody,
days where I
they're-
want to talk about it.
Listen, they're hurting.
I'm sorry, but this episode just showed me that Cody and Robyn are full of themselves and they deserve an Oscar or an Emmy for their performance, in the sense that they are trying to make it seem like, Cody is this guy and who Robyn is always trying to help sort of see the light, the fact that she's trying to encourage him to maintain his relationships with his other children. And it's like, ma'am, this man has been saying some of the most vile things about his children. He's been saying some of the most vile things about his wives. Why have you not said anything? Anyway, hey there, thanks for stopping by. It's Valerie. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, click the like button, turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos, and definitely leave a comment. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Sister Wives, Season 19, Episode 4. Mama Kelt is now at home. Apparently, she only spent one night in hospital, and it's like, that's a bit too soon. I don't know how the maternity system works in the US, so I don't want to lie and say I would know how much postnatal care she'll get. Robyn apparently is there, so she was with the babies most of the night, and Makelty was able to rest and then get the babies as and when they need to be nursed. I think it's cute. I think it's cute that they were able to put aside their personal feelings, especially Christine and Robyn, and sort of try and sort of do what was in Makelty's best interest. I think Robyn, according to what she says, she saw this as an end, as a way of getting into Christine's good books and probably getting Christine on her side. I think because her problem is now with Mary gone, she doesn't have an alliance with anyone else because Mary is moving on with life. And so if Mary moves on with life and doesn't want anything to do with Robyn, if anything happens with the rest of the family, Robyn will need someone to back her up. So I guess this was her sort of trying to extend an olive branch, according to what she says. Makelty, what do I think? I think they try and portray her as the peacemaker, as the bridge between the family. And I don't think that's a title to put on somebody. I don't think that's healthy, because at the end of the day, she is just but a child. The mothers should be able to sort of bridge their relationships without her input. Janelle last week was trying to defend her, saying that, Robyn came in at a time where Makelty was going through a lot in life, and Robyn was able to be the shoulder for her and sort of be the support system that she needed at the time. It makes sense. We're not always going to get along with every single person. I remember once when one of Christina's children moved in with Mary. I think that was in Vegas, if I'm not mistaken. So I get it. Robyn says this is what she saw, this is what she wanted as a sister wife, to be able to grandparent together. And it's like, the problem is, in my opinion, Robyn speaks from both sides of her mouth. She wanted sister wives, but she didn't want to share her husband. She wanted grandchildren, but she also wanted to be the center of attention, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. I might be wrong. Hey, it is what it is. And so for her to start crying when she's going home and saying, I'm going to miss the children, yeah, it does make sense. Obviously, she bonded with them in the first couple of hours. Apparently, she wanted to go back so that she could be at home in time for Thanksgiving, which makes sense because she's got younger children. You then have her, Cody talking about Thanksgiving, and sort of saying he's always tried to, make sure that he doesn't behave like a married couple with Robyn in front of his other wives. And it's like, but you're married to your other wives. How did you do it when you were still in Utah? How did you sort of run that when all your wives are in the same place? How did you do it when you're in Vegas? Suddenly, it's my marriage to Robyn and all my other wives. So everybody else doesn't matter except for Robyn. Make it make sense? And for Robyn to invite Mary, I don't get it. I think she's trying to be in good books with the women. I think she knows that they and Cody are in trouble. So I think they're trying to keep the women sweet, especially about Coyote Pass. And Mary says she wouldn't go because at the end of the day, Cody has always said that, he doesn't feel, well, he implied he doesn't feel comfortable loving his wife in Mary's presence. He wants to love his wife. His wife doesn't want to be loved in the presence of other women. And it's like, why should she be the one telling you that, no, let's not do this. This is not appropriate. You should have empathy on your own to know that my other wives are here. And if I'm going to show love to one, I need to show love to all. if I can't show love to one, then I can't show love to all. And this is what they've always implied, that this is how they ran their marriage, in the sense that there was no intimacy when all the other wives were there. Suddenly it's been made to a thing whereby Robyn is very sensitive and she's very worried about everybody else's feelings except for herself. And it's like, make it make sense. So Janelle spent her Thanksgiving with her children. It was to be expected. She had Peyton and Hunter. They're the ones, I think, that agreed to be on camera. The rest refused. So they were preparing Thanksgiving dinner. And we all know Janelle is not a kitchen person. So I'm not surprised that the boys more or less seemed to be doing everything. And they really seemed to be very hands-on. It seems Peyton apparently enjoys spending more time with Janelle's kids, because that's where more of the sons are, because his mom only had one boy. Christine spent Thanksgiving with Mackelty and her children and the rest of Christine's children. It makes sense because Mackelty is a new mom, so you wouldn't want her traipsing all over to Christine's house when she's barely recovered from her C-section. It was cute to see her and her children. I don't know why they keep asking Christine about Mary. I really don't. I don't get it. And it's really infuriating because we know they don't get along. We've heard it once. That's enough. We don't need to keep hearing it. And I wish Christine would say, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to comment about Mary anymore. Yeah, she said she sort of heard that Mary and Kody separated, but she doesn't know the ins and outs, and she doesn't know what's actually happening. Kody spent Thanksgiving with his family, so the core 7, and everyone was sort of saying it's different because they used to have about 50 people for Thanksgiving, and suddenly it's now every mom and their children. Mary, it seems, was in Flagstaff. I think she was getting the home ready so that she could return it to the renter, because she said she's not renewing her rental agreement. Although they did show shots of her sort of being sick. She was in bed most of Thanksgiving, and Robyn was saying, oh, she said she was going to spend it with her kids, and only to find out that she was sick and she was on her own. And it's like, well, suddenly you're worried about Mary being on her own. When it was isolation time, you left her on her own. Why didn't you ask her to move in with you because it was just one person? Or why didn't you send one of your kids to stay with her during COVID so that they could keep her company and she wouldn't be alone? Suddenly you're making it seem as though you're worried about her. Please, we're not buying that nonsense. I feel like saying the Emmy goes to Kodynand Robyn because apparently before the cameras arrived, they had a fallout in the sense that Robyn was trying to get Kody to speak to his other children. And so Kody, because he was getting very upset, he stormed out. He then comes back and they sort of start with the cameras there. They're standing outside having this conversation, and it's like, why are we standing outside? Why can't we go inside the house and have a sit down and actually discuss this in a more warm and comfortable environment? Anyway, there's this back and forth where Kody is saying, my kids betrayed me. They don't trust me. They've been gossiping. They've been saying bad things about me. Madison, when they went to Logan's wedding, apparently she took her kids and kept them away from Kody. And it's like, Kody, you sat on TV and you said you never loved their wives, their mothers. You said your children, betrayed you. You said you don't like your children. You say your children don't respect you. You said all these nasty things about your children, but you feel betrayed enough to say, I want them to apologize. And suddenly Robyn has the audacity to come on TV and say, my dad abandoned us when he divorced my mom, so I don't want you to do the same thing. Where was she during COVID when the kids were asking for you? Where was she? Why didn't she kick you out of the house and say, go and see your other children? Suddenly now it suits the narrative. This is why she's suddenly appearing as this voice of reason, whereby she's trying to get you to go and see your other children or speak to your other children. Make it make sense. At least say things that align, that make sense, that make the viewers truly believe what you're saying, because I'm not believing what you're saying. I'm not believing what you're selling. For Robyn to suddenly be the voice of reason and be the one who wants you to go and see your children or speak to your children doesn't make sense. For you to feel betrayed, oh, what did I do wrong? Well, maybe, for example, with Mary, you married her knowing you didn't love her according to you. You kept her for years. She had a child with you. After she had a child with you, when you knew you didn't love her, why didn't you let her go? She could have married somebody else and maybe had more children. But you kept going and going and going until you were eventually set up with your current wife, and then you decided to abandon her. So how do you think Mary's child failed? Christina, you married her, you had 6 children with her, and yet you say you never loved her, and you say she forced herself onto you. She brought herself into the family. You didn't ask her to come into the family. So how do you expect Christine's children to feel? Janelle, you married her. Yes, you said you always loved Janelle. Fine. You loved Janelle's money as far as I'm concerned. And the fact that she is the one who gave you 4 of your 5 of your, not 5, 6, 7. No, she's got 4 plus the other 2 plus. Okay. She gave him 4 of his maybe 7 children, 7 sons. So that's why he loves her. And the fact that she was his main breadwinner, that's why he loves her. No other reason. And so for him to say, well, Janelle's children are very, especially the boys. I think Logan is the only one who's a bit more even-tempered. The other 3, they're hotheads, especially Hunter. Hunter, Gabriel, Garrison, they don't take nonsense. Sadly, Garrison is now late. And so for him to think he can say all those nasty things about their mothers and abandon their mothers and then expect the children to still be faithful and loyal to him, he's delusional. He is delusional. I'm sorry I have to use that word, but he is delusional, because had he treated their mothers better, the children would fall in line. The reason why Robyn's children fall in line is because he's always been there. Well, I went to see them. I used to be at their houses. I used to be with their mothers, and now they're blaming me. You never were. Why would they lie about you not being with their mothers if you were there? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Why do you always have to be the victim in every situation? Be an adult about it. Go to your children, cap in hand, apologize. I'm so sorry for everything I've said negatively about you and your moms. I want to take responsibility for my actions, and I want to try and build a bridge. The children will never come and build a bridge. And sadly, as Mary said, one day he's going to wake up and he's going to regret every single thing he said on camera, because sadly, this TV show is going to haunt him for the rest of his life. So it's nice to see Christine very giddy. So Christine really liked David, it seems, right from the start when she first met him, because apparently she went on a date with him. They discussed their number of children. Apparently it's a website. She met him on a website for people with children. So she told him about her 6 biological children, but was planning on telling him that she was part of a sister wife community and she had other children. Yeah, he's a man. I guess he might not have seen Sister Wives, but I would assume he's heard about Sister Wives, the show, though. But anyway, she seems really good and very excited about it, and she can't wait to see him next time, so they've already arranged a second date so she can discuss her other children from her polygamous marriage. And it's like, why is she only counting hers and Janelle's children? Why is she not counting the rest? Does that mean because she doesn't get along with the mothers, that way she doesn't like the children, or she doesn't get along with the children as well? I think that's a bit suspect. I think she should have just kept that comment to herself. You then go back to Cody and Robyn. They're still going back and forth about this conversation of Cody needing to sort of get in touch with his children. And he makes out, oh, I've tried to get in touch with Gabriel and see if, we can build something. And it's like, Cody, it's too late. You yourself know what you did wrong, because he actually says, I know some of the things I did wrong, was sticking to my COVID rules, and the fact that I didn't go with Isabel for her surgery. And it's like, that was a life-threatening surgery, and you didn't go for it. But you went with Robyn's child to go and get her ears pierced. Make that make sense. Make that make sense. I don't get it, and I don't understand how you as a person don't see what you did wrong, because at the end of the day, why would you feel like it was appropriate for you to go for something that's cosmetic and yet not go for something that's life-threatening? I get why the rest of the children are upset with you, and I get why the children don't want to speak to you, because at the end of the day, you've bashed Maddie in this episode knowing that she was pregnant at the time. Make it make sense. You've spoken badly about your ex-wives. Make it make sense. You didn't love them, fine. Why did you keep them? Why did you keep the marriages going? Was it because they were funding your relationship with Robyn, or was it because you were looking for your ideal match, and once you found her, you decided to dump the rest? Make it make sense. I don't get it, and I don't understand why he and his charming wife can't see that. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and click the link in my video to watch my review from episode 3. Bye guys.